start that shit. All right, man. So like, I really just, I don't even know where I want to fucking start the goddamn dialogue. But I'm assuming I'm going off the assumption that everybody saw the release date trailer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming out the day before God of War Ragnarok. It's gonna be bad.
Oh! Oh my god! Oh!
What was Sega thinking?
Yeah, who cares? Like, nigga, I'm an adult. I have money. I'm gonna buy both of them. They're both different games. But I think like.
What do you mean you're an adult? Think about the children.
Fuck the children. Fuck them kids.
But like, I think like the first little bit of like just weird discourse, and it was like super personal for me, was people finally realizing that what I've been saying since Roger took over the role is true. Because I'm like, nigga, the fucking the script and voice direction plays a huge role in how a character sounds. It's not just the actor. And I'm like, nigga, for the majority of this time, at least in the meta era, like a lot of those scripts were like super de-duper child friendly. So like a lot of the shit just sounded goofy as fuck coming from like this adult voice or like older teenager voice.
Yeah.
And like, you know, because I am the old man Sonic fan, I remember how much niggas were like, oh my god, his voice doesn't fit. It doesn't fit, it's a bad voice. And then those same people were saying like how they liked it for Boom Sonic. And I'm like, that's what a good script and direction does. Like, that's literally what I've been saying since the beginning. And now...
See, I'm thinking it's always been a matter of either preference or what you grew up with.
And that's cool.
Because of course, I mean, and that's perfectly fine. Because of course, people like Moose's age is like, oh my god, Jason Griff is the best one, bar none.
And that's crazy, because I prefer Roger Craig Smith.
Taste.
Damn.
Taste right there, nigga. But I'm like, I'm not.
I said people like Moose's age. I didn't say Moose.
And I'm like, I'm not even like, you know, dunking on Jason or Ryan because I like their portrayals of the character. But like Roger, it always seemed like, you know, the next logical step. I'm like, bro, this nigga can't sound like, you know, a goofy teenager forever. He cannot. Like even Charles Martinet does Mario's voice different depending on the game. Like that's it was to me.
I like his voice in Dragon Ball Super. He was the best Mario.
Oh my god, shut up, man. But like even then, it just seemed like, you know, a natural progression of the character. You know, the nigga's been around for 30 years. He's got to be at least a little bit older in the fucking story. Right. And like now people are like just flipping shit. Oh my god, his voice is so good. I'm like, nigga, I've been saying this for 12 years. I've been saying this for 12 years. You get that man a decent script and he will carry. And that's what we got from that fucking trailer.
And his first game was Sonic Colors, right?
Yeah. Sonic Colors.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm gonna put on my actually hat here. It was Sonic. Boy. It was Sonic Free Riders, but we don't talk about that game.
I could have sworn that game came out after Colors.
I think that shit came out before.
Free Riders?
Yeah.
Sonic Free Riders?
I remember Connect coming out in like 2011.
No, nigga, Connect was like
Sonic
2009,
came
2010.
Out after Colors. No, Sonic Free Riders is 2010.
Yeah, Colors was also 2010. But I think Free Riders came out earlier in the year because I remember Colors being like a Christmas game.
They came out at the same time. They came out 7
They
days
came out
apart.
a week in between.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah.
So technically, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. See, the well actually glasses prevail again.
Fuck you and your contacts.
Be jealous.
Damn.
But
I just thought Free Riders came out I thought Colors came out earlier in the year.
Both of them, because I remember I bought Colors DS as a Christmas gift for my niece because they got restationed. I remember buying that for her.
Old.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
How old are you?
I'm only 22.
Oh, okay, cool. It's like an 8-year gap, man. You're still a 90s baby. No, you're not. You're not actually. 2000.
I'd be.
Fuck, Sonic S is older than you.
Sonic X is not older.
It's not.
I know. I'm just fucking with you.
Me being a 2000s baby, and the environment I grew up in, I'm essentially a 90s baby.
Nah.
Because I grew up in the middle of the transition between 90s stuff and 2000 stuff.
Nah.
So.
How old were you when the iPod dropped?
When the
like
iPod
1?
dropped?
You're like 1. Nah.
The original iPod?
Yeah. The original iPod dropped in like 2001, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't count. You got to the party when everybody was like leaving and passed out, throwing up. That don't count. Still love you though.
I'm guessing the butt in 99 or 2000.
You're spitting, but if I have to listen to people born in 99 say that they're 90s babies,
boy,
then I'm taking that too.
No, don't get it wrong, nigga. We look at them niggas sideways too. We look at them niggas sideways. Look, man, if it's one thing that you will learn about me is that I am fair. Like, if I'm giving 2000s children shit, I'm definitely giving like 98 and 99 kids the same shit. So it's all good.
Is safe.
Right. It's all good, I promise. But back on the topic of fucking Frontiers. So like everybody is understandably hyped based off the fucking trailer because it was an actually good trailer, which again, if niggas had a modicum of patience, you would have known that we were gonna get higher caliber shit closer to the release. We're going to talk about the elephant in the room, the biggest piece. How do y'all feel about reusing stages? I'm gonna let y'all go first, and then I'll go last.
I'll probably have the least to say, so I can go first. I mean, honestly, it honestly doesn't bother me, under the expectation that I don't want to say it do something different, but more so along the lines of like, you know, how can I say it feels different, essentially, if that makes sense. Since I don't want to say it's like it doesn't have to like look different or add anything to it. Like Solid Mania did Green Hill just fine, people did complain about that, and the same thing goes to Sonic Generations, but of course they added 3D and 2D Sonic gameplay for it. I mean, we all cringed at Sonic Force's rendition of Green Hill, but that doesn't stop the fact that it did something different. I don't want to count it, but it did something different.
Right?
You know,
yeah.
Sandhill.
Yeah. You know, like we gotta call a spade, man. Be objective with that shit. Musa.
Oh, I'm here. I was waiting for him to finish.
I'm finished.
I don't want to say anything until you were done. All right. So yeah, you already know I got something to say. My piece is, I don't have an issue in this sense of them bringing back old levels. The entire premise of the cyberspace is Sonic has lost his memories. He's trying to put the pieces back together. Him putting the pieces back together, it makes sense that he would misremember stuff, and levels he might remember the same levels, but they play out differently. Or I'm on the phone. He knocked so hard. It makes sense that he would remember stuff differently and stuff would not be right in his head. So like in that case, I'm like, it's fine. But on the flip side, we've had to deal with Sega reusing stuff for the past 12 years, essentially.
I was hoping you were going to rule it in the they've been using for generations.
Which is not an issue because Generations was fantastic. Mania was fantastic. Mania would have been even better if it was all original, but it was still fantastic. Generation being a celebration of everything was still a fantastic game. Sega reusing stuff that they already have is fine because it saves them time. They don't have to think of everything that they're doing. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and say, yeah, Sega needs to come up with all original stuff every single time. But that's what people are used to. That's just the truth.
Forget these words.
Like, it's fine if they don't, but that's what people are used to. So
wait, people are used to them coming up with new stuff all the time, or not coming up with it?
With coming up with new stuff all the time.
I would. From a mechanic standpoint, I'd agree, but like from an overall game standpoint, I'd have to hard disagree because like, nigga, again, 1, 2, and 3, outside of their subtle nuances, are interchangeable games. The same could be said about Adventure 1 and 2. The same could be said about Heroes and Shadows. Just like there are certain sections of things that are all gonna have a similar feel, and like the eras are really differentiated by like certain mechanics and certain nuances. So like when Colors rolled around, we got the Wisps, we got shorter stages we got more stages, but they were shorter. And like the design philosophy changed when they brought boost gameplay to consoles. So like it kind of had to evolve around that, because outside of the stages and music and like shit that you can see, there really isn't too much variance between like Unleashed, Generations, Colors, Forces. Like there really isn't too much of a difference. And on the one hand, I do get it. I get where you're coming from. Like the games look different enough to like give off the illusion that there's like this chasm of differences, but like at base level, it's really nothing crazy.
It's not. It doesn't have to be anything crazy for the game to just feel different, for it to feel like there's more effort in it, for there to feel like there's more time and care put into it. It's going from one thing that everybody has been used to up until 2008, I will say. I think we can agree that Sonic Unleashed was the last like semi-serious Sonic game. Where it was lighter on story, but it was definitely still serious about its premise.
Like there were major stakes.
Exactly. You go from that and you turn around and you give me Sonic Colors.
Yeah.
That for me, growing up, I'm 10 years old when Sonic Colors came out.
Right.
That game was supposed to be tailored towards me. I was the demographic, and I looked at that game and I said, "What is this?" I'm not joking with you. I hold it against Sonic Colors.
I feel like your situation was like, "What is this gay shit?"
Nah, not even that. Because I'm like, okay, so I'm used to, as a kid, I'm used to Sonic being cool. Why is he running through Donut World? What?
Because, man, new and exciting for the young demographic.
Yes, and me, the young demographic, wondering why Sonic is not running through the city.
And see, like that I get it. I don't want to discredit your experience, and that is like incredibly anecdotal, because even I was like, what, fucking 19 when that came out, and I was like, okay, it's a new direction geared towards kids. I haven't been a kid in forever, and I mean, like, Sonic's always been, that's like one of the key issues with making a cool character, because one, cool is subjective, two, cool is very fickle, because what was cool in the 90s wasn't really cool in the 2000s in terms of character, and what was cool in the 2000s wasn't cool anymore in the 2010s. So like me and Jarvis, you know, growing up with like 90s attitude era Sonic, going into like I don't want to say morally gray, but like going into like more serious semi jokey Sonic with the adventure games, okay, you know, that made sense because that was just what protagonists were doing in that era. And then going from like 06, again, like from the viewpoint of somebody who was an adult or a teenager going into adulthood at this time, going from 06 to where the main character fucking dies and the world falls to ruin because of it, to, you know, Baldy McNose hair, I'm like, all right, I'm officially an adult because this shit is just not funny. Like, this shit just drags. I'm here for thank God I'm here for the gameplay and not the fucking dialogue. So like, I get where you're coming from. And like, Sonic is always going to be, you know, a product of its time. Most video games are, unless you just, you know, have a magic formula, just don't change it at all, ever. But
if anything, like, I guess that is fair, because I know I do rag on Sonic Adventure 2 a lot. I do understand the fact that a lot of people grown up for Sonic Adventure 2, and while they don't expect it to be the same, every other game to be the same as Sonic Adventure 2, I understand that that's really just where they set their foundation. Right. So like Musa said, you always saw Sonic as have like a serious story, correct?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. Right. Because so of course, I can understand your disconnect with colors.
When I thought about Sonic, up to that point, and even now, because a lot of people make this comparison, even though now people are trying to say, no, don't think about it that way. Everybody's comparison was Sonic and Mario, and how, and I'm gonna use this, Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Yes, sir.
Where Mario has never had super serious stories, Sonic was always there to show he might be a colorful character, but he still takes things seriously when it's time to get serious. His world can still be serious.
Right.
Every single game from Sonic 1, or every single mainline game from Sonic 1, so the first 3 games in CD, so first 4 games, and then all the way up to 06, with all of the adventure, everything that came out during the adventure era, which includes the Advance series, Battle, all of that stuff built up a lore, and it followed that lore, and it took its world seriously. Now, I'm not saying that they have to always do that, but for me as a kid who was growing, I grew up with a lot of different versions of Spider-Man, a lot of different versions of Sonic. I thought it was to be assumed that these are either the same character or a different version of this character. Mm-hmm. So I was very used to a character changing and being slightly different. But Sonic Colors just was not anywhere close to any other version other than Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. And at that point, I had not seen it. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
That show.
And like I feel it because I forgot I didn't even give my fucking opinion on the stage reuses, so I'm gonna circle back to it. But I do, because up until, you know, Generations, that was fucking understood. Like that, you know, the Sonic that was in Sonic 1 was the Sonic that was in Sonic Colors. They were the same nigga. It was just a progression of the character. And then I don't know what the fuck made Sega think, you know what? We should be the Legend of Zelda and do a time split. So classic Sonic is a whole nother fucking universe. And then from Adventure on, yeah, it was. And then from Adventure on is the current Sonic. And Boom Sonic is a whole nother Sonic. And I'm like, my nigga, the only one that really needed to be separated was Boom, because, you know, it makes sense for that to be an alternate universe because it doesn't tie into any of the main lore in any type of way. So it makes sense for that to be like a different universe. But saying like literally, and I grew up with this. I read the comics. I was there for like all the shows, all the games. So like seeing Sonic go from small fat round body Sonic to tall round body Sonic to lanky Sonic. It just looked like the character was growing up. Not once at any point in those like 19 years did I ever think that it was like, oh yeah, all of these are different universes or timelines of Sonic. Like that shit, it just doesn't make sense because the lore, and this is to Sega's credit, because the lore, for the most part, is that well connected that everything makes sense to happen in a linear timeline. So it
does for all the games to be like so episodical, they do keep in line with their lore up to that point very well.
Yeah, like the lore is really tight, and that's one of the things that I honestly don't think the franchise gets enough credit for, because there are a lot of series that are just all over the fucking place.
Right, I love Zelda, but damn, that timeline don't make sense.
Yeah, that shit.
Not worried about the timeline. I just want to play a good Zelda game.
Right.
At that point,
like nigga, Zelda's timeline is like, even as somebody that understands it, it's still incredibly convoluted, and it doesn't need to be. Like it's just there just because it is.
It doesn't, and I like it being complicated. Like, I think it gives me something. It gives me something different to think about. I like it being complicated, but that I don't know why my thought just died. I like it being complicated, and so it just shows that games can be more. To me, it's always shown that games can be more. They don't just have to be one-off stories.
Right. That's cool.
Which is what like people are doing now. It's cool, but for some reason, Sonic gets this flack when he tries to do it.
Mm-hmm.
When he's been doing it the whole
fucking time.
It literally makes no sense. He's been doing it this entire time. Why are you complaining about this?
It's cool. Like I'm just keeping a buck with you. Like
it's just cool because because Sonic was the shit until 2006.
Yeah.
Which is Sega's fault.
Yeah, 100%.
It's been years.
It's been like, dude, it's been 16. There are people that were born after 06 that know about 06 because that's all you motherfuckers talk about. But
it's the go-to game whenever it comes to like complaining about Sonic.
Like we when they want to say Sonic had a rough transition to 3D.
No,
but what does that really mean to you?
It's not even a factual statement.
He missed one generation of console, which is still Sega's fault.
What that means, what that sounds like to me, and I always hear that line mainly from people who either haven't played Sonic in a long time or hasn't played the game at all.
Yeah.
And just going off hearsay for clout reason.
Because if we're talking about, actually, let me make my point about the rehashes before I get into that shit. But stage rehashing or like asset reuse does not bother me. Like it really doesn't. Like, because I just see it as a reference to, something, the past, or like even with Green Hill. I've joked about Green Hill so many fucking times, but I'm like, as a tutorial level or an intro level, bro, you're gonna be there for like, what, 2 minutes? Let it go. Like, let the hurt go. Play the tutorial stage and then move the fuck on. Because my issue with the take on reused levels is, like, Kirby and Mario, hell, Zelda 2, do not get any of the smoke about reusing levels. But yet,
let's not think about Zelda. Zelda has the same world,
right?
Game, but it looks different almost every time.
So then the problem,
sequels to Zelda games.
Then the problem is, like, are you okay with it as long as it looks different, which is a subjective or an objective. No, subjective, yeah, which is a subjective opinion, because you're okay with it as long as it's got a new coat of paint on it. Green Hill, or what we're calling Green Hill that we saw from the demo, doesn't look shit like the Green Hill from Sonic 1, doesn't look shit like the Green Hill from Generations, outside of the 10-second clip that we saw where they use those same rails. And like you said at the beginning, it's part of the story for the game. The dude is an amnesiac So obviously we're playing through somebody who's trying to remember their fucking, their past, because the part that the dude, and I'm gonna throw this in the video like when I upload it, but like the part that the dude pulled up was Windmill Isle. Like the stage was designed like Windmill Isle, but it had a Green Hill coat of paint on it. So like people complaining about the rehash argument, right there, your point's already defeated, because it's neither stage, it's a combination of two stages. If you want to look at it like Windmill Isle with a Green Hill coat of paint on it, that's one perspective. Or if you want to look at it as Green Hill with Apatow assets, it's already different from either stage that you look at from the base standpoint. So like saying, oh man, they're reusing assets. What part of Green Hill in any game has ever played like Windmill Isle or shared a design philosophy with Windmill Isle? I'll save you some time. There isn't one. So like the whole idea of, they're reusing assets. Of course they're reusing assets, bro. No gaming company rebuilds an entire log of assets for a game that's coming out in the same console generation. That's just not something that they do. Shocker, I know, but
well, hold on. Is it the same console generation? Is it everything?
Essentially, it's what Forces came out 2017. 5-year gap. That's a 5-year gap.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. No, I was asking more of, is it coming to like PS4 and stuff?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I didn't even look at that.
Coming out on the Switch.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Well, yeah.
But
Godspeed.
Where there's a will, there's a way. They will come out on the Switch.
Right. Somehow, if they got to lock that hole at 30, which they probably gonna do, it's gonna be on the Switch.
Kingdom Hearts can come out via the cloud.
But yeah, my problem has always been like, for one, the micro analysis, for two, the hypocrisy, because Greens has appeared in Kirby.
You cool if I speak on like the hypercritical critical analysis?
Yeah, give me a second.
I do remember.
Like,
okay.
I want to make a point, and then like we can move on to something else.
We can move on because I have something to say about that too.
So again, I'm a Kirby fan. I assume most of us are. Kirby's fun as shit, but like Kirby has used greens in its entirety. Like, I mean, 1-to-1 in 7 games. 7 games. Like, no change. Like, from start to fucking finish, Greens has been in a total of 7 fucking games. And not once have I ever heard the Kirby fan base absolutely fucking lose their shit over that fact. Hell, I don't even lose my shit over that fact. I'm like, it's greens, bro. Wispy Woods. Everybody knows that. But it's cool. It's cool for Kirby to do that shit. And again, Mario, and I made this point on Twitter and in the Discord, we got 6 flavors of New Super Mario Bros. 4 of those games are the exact same game.
And like I said, I'm pretty sure people didn't want that shit after the second one.
You may be right, and that's something that I can go back and revisit, because that's really, at least in my experience, that's really revisionism at work. Because again, I didn't hear a single complaint from anybody that bought New Super Mario Bros. EX plus Alpha and Knuckles featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Like when those games were coming out, when they were hot, like nobody complained about those.
I think as far as anything goes, I think it
I'm pretty sure
after the first game, I was good.
Like the U and Luigi U, those games got comparably worse reviews, because at that point, people were like, those are the same thing. On top of people already not wanting the Wii U.
Yeah, I was like, and they should have, because fucking New Super Mario Bros, New Super Mario Bros Wii, New Super Mario Bros Wii U, New Super Mario Bros Deluxe, and Super Luigi Bros are quite literally the same game. 4 times. They might have got worse reviews.
The Deluxe is the Switch version of the game, right?
Yeah, Deluxe is the Switch version of Wii U, which is the Wii U version of Wii, which is the Wii version of DS.
Okay.
Like, and again, they may have gotten worse reviews, but that damn sure didn't stop them bitches from becoming Nintendo bestsellers. So
you've never seen the bitches get a sale.
I'm going to blame it being Nintendo's bestsellers, quote unquote, on the fact that it's a basic game for kids. That's it. But same end, people still bought it.
Right, like people still bought the shit.
Populace still bought it.
Yeah.
Now, your point on nobody's complained or nobody complains in any other franchise. You're right, and that's why I said, like, you're absolutely right when you say that nobody has complained in other franchises, but that's because no other franchise was doing it like Sonic really. Every other franchise has had their established levels, established places, and when a new game starts, they might start there, but they might go someplace new, but they're gonna visit some of the same locations.
And that's
been the general. That's how most game series are. Sonic, on the other hand, even a fast character, he's always traveling around. Everywhere he goes is different. Almost virtually goes no similar places. Now we can sit there and say, well, what's it called? Sunset Hill and Green Hill are virtually the same. They are very similar. They're almost the same, but they look just different enough, and their aesthetic is just different enough where it feels different, and I don't have to worry about to think about saying, is this just Green Hill with a different coat of paint? Because it feels different. Them using Green Hill Zone since 2000. I'm not going to count Sonic 4 because Sonic 4 does the same thing the other games have done. It looks different. It's not the same. Them reusing Green Hill since Sonic Generations is not something that Sonic fans are used to. And it feels lazy when it's not really lazy because all companies do this.
Exactly. That's my entire point. Like, you can't criticize one franchise and call it lazy for rehashing stages and then turn right back around and give another franchise praise for doing the exact same shit. That's the hypocritical. That's like the definition of hypocrisy. And I'd hesitate to say can't because, people are going to do whatever the fuck they want. But, like, you shouldn't be able to do that in any type of large capacity. Because if it's lazy in Sonic, it's lazy in Kirby, it's lazy in Zelda, it's lazy in Mario. It's lazy in really any platformer from the fucking 90s. Because all of them have revisited some stages in multiple capacities over time. Like the fucking, what was that shit called in Galaxy? The throwback Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 1. Like, it's literally a 1-to-1 recreation of like 5 stages from 64. And then we fast forward.
Those are looked at as cool references.
Right. And then we fast forward 10 years later to Odyssey, and now Peach's Castle is a fucking planet. That's a level. So
yeah, that's reminiscent of Mario's, I want to say just Mario 64 or really just the castle itself.
No, it's 64. It's the entire area.
Yeah, it looks different. As far as I know, it looks kind of different.
Well, I mean, that's because it's expanded.
Same, but
yeah, like it's like the only real difference is like outside of like the little opening area, the area to the side with the water, the castle itself, and like the back garden, you have expansion on the side. So there's like an open area with some trees, and then like another area with some posts and shit. So like it's there are a couple of new things there. And again, if we're gonna play that game, Green Hill has a couple of new things in it in every game that it's in, so it's different enough. like I said, like the problem that comes with me is just like people with platform and like, for better or worse, direct influence are being like either disingenuous or incredulous with the franchise that they claim to like. Because if we're gonna reuse stages, you know, if reusing stages is a problem, cool. Let it be a problem in every game. Let it be a problem in every franchise. If you don't like it here, you cannot like it anywhere else. Otherwise, you're a hypocrite. Like you are just being blatantly hypocritical.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Where I was like, Sonic has a it's put on a pedestal because we really like Sonic, so we expect better, and that goes into my next point about that. Because people have expected something different each time, other than, you know, the generic, this is a forest, this is a beach, so on and so forth. It does create that, why are we going back to the same place? But me personally, I added on to the level of, hey, this location doesn't make sense, like, lore-wise. Why is this here? That's mainly with forces. Because literally, you know, we all know Forces is a shit show. Why is Green Hill a part of the mainland?
Yeah.
Like people can complain about Chemical Plant, but Chemical Plant is a generic enough name where it's like, okay, it's another one of Eggman's chemical plants.
Right. That it could be anywhere.
Yeah. Green Hill Zone can't be anywhere.
Right. Like what the fuck is the word
the way
for it?
I see that Green Hill Zone is like, it's really just that staple, because as far as I'm concerned, it's like probably just the farthest most niggas have gotten in like a 2D Sonic game.
Forget these words.
Or
it's a staple. It's
a
staple.
Kind of like how Mushroom Hill is for Mario and Green Green's for Kirby, like y'all mentioned before.
It is, but
yeah.
Sonic has established a lore, so you can't go back to Green Hill unless he starts every game on South Island. And he doesn't live on South Island.
They don't really establish that, to my knowledge.
At least in the games, they don't. In the comics, yeah. But I mean,
wait, what do you mean?
They like in the games, they don't really too much mention where that nigga lives or where he's from.
Well, it is kind of open ended. So you can say he lives in Green Hill Zone, but on the other hand, he's also, you know, it's also been like, oh, he's an open and free spirit. He likes traveling around, so he doesn't stay in any one place. He also has a house, like in Secret.
But how do we know that house isn't the Green Hills?
We don't. That's why I said it's open ended.
And I agree to an extent, because like there are some stages that are ambiguous enough to where, all right, you know, he probably can come across this again. Like you can have multiple chemical plants. You can have, you know, different scrap brain zones or hilltop zones, caves, like shit like that.
Those can be repeated.
Yeah.
Green Hill Zone can't when you call it specifically
Green Hill Zone. Like that sounds,
because it's specific to that locale.
Right. It's a place. It's like naming a stage New York City, and then in the next game he's on a whole nother planet, and the first stage is New York City. Like,
no. We just have to assume every American lives in New York City.
Yeah, clearly,
like the typical Americans we are.
Right. And like, so I get like certain stages, I get, and I've always been a proponent of, you know, if it makes sense, throw that shit in there. So I'm like, at that point, we'd have to do a lot of, well, not a lot, but we'd have to do some assumption. And I mean, it's a video game, so I mean, suspension of disbelief is, you know, prevalent. But to think that at some point, unless like Green Hill Zone is like the dead center of the planet or the universe, really, then there shouldn't really be a reason for that man to cross that shit unless the lore calls for it. And again, it goes back to Frontiers. The lore calls for it, so it makes sense because it's not the real Green Hill Zone.
The lore does call for it, but we've had this stage now for 12 plus years, and Sonic games coming out, not as much as they used to, because they used to come out every year,
which was a
now
problem.
They're coming out. No, I didn't say that was a problem. I'm not saying that.
No,
that's
I
a
am.
Thing.
Yeah, I'm saying
that's a different thing.
Yeah,
it was a problem because now you have all these mid games, which some people like. They all do have their own merit, but it was too much. It was.
I was like, nigga, you can't focus on anything with a year and a half development time between games.
Right.
For a prolific ass franchise like that, nigga, you're no. Again.
The only reason why I see that that is not really a problem is these games are short. Like, they're not 40+ hour games. They're not 30+ hour games. They take 3 to 4 hours at max to complete. So them coming out yearly makes sense when they're so fast.
Right.
As technology has increased, that's been less and less possible because people want better graphics.
Right.
If Sonic was stayed stylized, that would be different. But as soon as he could be in the real world, they put him in the real world.
Yep.
So he's also been established that he lives in a real world type of environment where springs exist in the world.
Yep.
And they just kind of naturally form, and so do hills with circles. I mean, with loop-de-loop circles.
And like I know
they've established these things, and that's what Sonic fans are holding on to. They expect them to be consistent. When unfortunately these people who used to work on the games haven't. They've changed. They've left. Priorities have shifted in the company, and unfortunately that's just something that happens when it's not a passion project. Or you don't have that much say in the company.
Right.
You do what the company wants. Especially because Sonic is the face of Sega.
Yep.
That's what makes it worse. Sonic is the face of Sega. So we do have to deal with that too.
Yep.
But them repeating Green Hill Zone, while that's not really a problem, the issue comes in they're repeating Green Hill Zone. These games are taking longer, and these games aren't good.
Yeah.
The last good game that people will universally agree with, it doesn't matter about your opinion on how you think is misunderstood, with Lost World, Generations was the last game that everybody universally praised.
It was Mania.
Well, 3D. We're talking about 3D Sonic.
Okay. Yeah,
that's right.
Fair enough.
Because if we want to look at Mania, Mania takes the same... People who made Mania have the same amount of competence as somebody back in the 90s. They did really well. I'm not saying they didn't. But it's already been done.
Mm-hmm.
And Sonic has moved on. He's gotten bigger from there. He's not just 2D Sonic now. He's 3D too.
Right. It was quite literally a passion project. And for what it's worth, like, it was funny because me and Ed were talking about that shit, and I was like, for a fan base that hates reused assets, y'all still got y'all went to the base with Mania. Like, y'all are still sucking that game's dick, and like, just based off a stage count alone, like, not even being nitpicky and like counting the actual assets that were reused, 66% of that game is reused assets.
No, it's not reused assets. The level themes and design is half of those are reused.
Yep.
But the assets are not. That's
the assets.
The assets and the design philosophy of the level those are different things.
Those, like, I get it, and like people, because when people are saying they're reusing assets, they're literally talking about like rails or fucking springs and ramps and shit, like just like literally taking shit that's already created and not creating it again because it's new. And I'm like, dude, if we're gonna be like that disingenuous. Like every fucking checkpoint, goalpost, tree, block would be fucking different in every game. So I'm like, that's why like I hate the argument of reused fucking assets. Now, like you said, stage design and stage aesthetic is completely different. And I really hope to God that that's not what people are complaining about, because I can tell you right now, if every Sonic stage feels the same to you, you are not playing these games right. Like straight up, you just aren't.
Yeah, I think it's really, it really just brings up the point that Sega has not been making good decisions with the character, and that's led to people having these very grossly overstated opinions.
Hyperbolic,
thank you. They have these opinions that they don't know how to properly convey them because a lot of them just have not really put that much time into it, or they're following what they hear on YouTube.
Yep.
When if they do, they'll see that a lot of these things, what they mean to say is either not what they mean to say, or they are taking it a step too far.
Yeah. And like that's honestly like why I started like gearing the channel the way I did, because like I'm like, for one, a lot of newer fans are very impressionable, so like they see somebody that's like 25 or older and think that because they've played, they've been alive to play more of the game, that their opinion holds more weight, and like they just run with it. That's why I'm like, you see every major YouTuber right now on Twitter doing either a complete 180 or backpedaling everything they said 3 months ago or 2 months ago when we saw the first gameplay.
They found Jesus.
Like,
that's how it goes.
Cause like I remember, and I will never ever let you motherfuckers live down the fact that y'all actually tried to get Delay Sonic Frontiers trending. Sam procrastinates, Primy to Remy. Like I will never let niggas live that shit down. Because I'm like, dude, we saw 7 minutes of an alpha build of a game.
Hey, it did look bad. I will say that.
It was a fucking work in progress. It's supposed to look rough.
You know, it's like our first time. Yeah, that was our first time seeing the game.
That was our first time seeing the fucking game.
I know a lot of people was like worried. I understand that, but most people just kind of took it as like the final build.
Yeah, they took it as the final build because it's like, oh, this is what they're showing us. Is this what's coming out?
And I do remember like Izuka was like, we're gonna work a little bit longer for this game because, you know, we want to make this something different. Like, I want to say in the same way as Sonic Adventure, so it's like I understand that. And it's like when we saw when did the trailer come out? Not trailer, but like the teaser. I say June? I think it was like Game Awards last year. But that's
you talking about the trailer
where they just show Sonic standing?
Yeah,
that was Game Awards.
Game Awards.
Yeah,
okay,
that was like May of last year, I think.
No, that was December, or that was New Year.
Are you talking about the very first trailer?
Well, I don't think we didn't get a name. Yeah, we didn't get a name for
Are you talking about
Sonic
still called Rangers? That was May of last.
Yeah, that was May.
That was May of last year. When we found out about Sonic Frontiers, it's like during the Game Awards.
Yeah, that was the Game Awards.
And that's when they mentioned it's like, oh hey, this is going to be like an open world. It's like, and again, it's like, oh hey, this is basically going to be like Breath of the Wild, similar to like the fan games that we usually see nowadays. It's like, okay, cool. I want to see how it's like under professional hands.
You've made
nothing.
You've made the gamer comparison. Don't do that.
Oh no.
Oh, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're right.
I just like finish your thought, because that's the other thing that I wanted to talk about too.
No, that's fine. It's like, okay, cool. It's something different. But of course, you have like people like hyper criticize the fact that it's like, oh man, this game is gonna fail. Sonic was never good, yada yada yada. But I know we're not on this point now. But I'll like hold it off until we do, when we get to like the point where people like on a scientific analysis on like what people was able to play at Gamescom.
Right. But
Yeah.
I really need people to like stop comparing every open world game to Breath of the Wild. Like I get it. I get it. That was your first open world game, so I get why you do that, but like Nintendo and Zelda did not invent the open world genre. They also didn't invent tree spirits. Like the Coco that we saw in Frontiers are not a ripoff of Koroks. They all stem from Kodama, which is a nature spirit. That's not something that fucking Zelda created out of thin air and then everything else afterwards is copying Zelda. Princess Mononoke is not copying the fucking Koroks. Okay? It's like a 20-year gap between those.
Nah, it is.
Nah.
And I hate it.
Nah.
And I hate them.
I was like, oh my god, it's a small thing with a circular face.
Oh my
and
god,
eyes.
they're ripping off.
It's a
Miyazaki.
Korok. Oh man.
All I'm gonna say is
You know what's the funny thing about that? If we're going,
it shouldn't be Kogo.
hold on,
It should
Shane.
be Child.
With that being said, is that you brought that up with the Breath of the Wild? It's like, so let me get this straight. If we're comparing it, well, if everybody else is comparing this to Breath of the Wild, I mean, so however, if that's the case, how are we using the same logic to accept every other Dark Souls clone that come out, like at least once a year?
Carefully.
Yeah.
Careful, like that. That's it. Just carefully.
Well, because I know, like again, like at Gamescom, like people was hyped as shit about Liza P, but that's just another Dark Souls clone.
Shut up, man. Shut up. You're making sense. You can't do that.
No. Oh, this game. Nope. That's the best game in the end up. No, it's not.
Because I was like, it's God, man. I hate video game discourse so much. Like I really do. And like I honestly picked one of the
whenever a PlayStation game comes to PC, that's when you gotta mute Twitter.
I picked one of the worst fandoms to be in for video game discourse, but I'm built like that, so I stick around. But dog, just the oh my god, this game has grass and structures. Breath of the Wild clone. Ha!
Wow.
Sega can't do anything, so they gotta
Sega
copy.
Can't be original.
The only open world game to ever exist, Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. Which if we're gonna keep it a stack, I'm gonna just throw my hot take out there.
Go for it.
Is like when you're not in points of interest, Breath of the Wild is boring as fuck. I like the game, I do. I'm not gonna say I dislike it, but there's a whole bunch of not shit going on between POIs and Breath of the Wild. Whole bunch of it.
Never forget these words.
How dare you?
Great power.
Yeah, have an opinion.
As a Zelda fan,
sorry.
As a Zelda fan, I now hate you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's my goal. That means I've made you think.
How dare you? How dare you? You think I come on the internet to think? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I
actually came here for big booty bitches.
Right, I actually like sever my spinal cord from my brain anytime I log on to Twitter.
Man,
the other thing. What did we see? I know you guys tagged me in that post from, I forget what his name is.
Today? Yeah, I forget his name. I just know that nigga spoke a lot. It's like, I think I know I joked about it. It's like this is the part where people are like foaming from the mouth.
Was it the one that you put in the general chat, Musa? That Radical 1991?
Might have been him.
Because I know you put it there, you put it there this morning like 1:30. Was like it was
No, not him. No.
Hold up, I'm pulling up the thing now. Cause I know I tagged you, Eddie, and you, Musa. Caleb. There we go.
Yeah. His points made sense. and I didn't know if we were going to get into that or not.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we are 100%.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it to attack him. It's
nobody
like
knows what they want is different from the general fandom has a lot of different things that they want.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, like, because I say that, and like, I think a lot of people, what's the word? Fuck. A lot of people conflate the two. So like, the general fandom can't find anything to agree on about what they want from a Sonic game. So the shorthand version of that is the fans don't know what they want, just because, like, you know, there are so many fans that all want different shit. They kind of go hand in hand, because you have one sect of the fandom that wants, you know, nothing but classic games. Then you have your sect that wants nothing. Basically, those sects of the fandom that don't want anything other than what they grew up playing. And then there are the fans that, you know, hey, we can agree that we like 3D Sonic, but I don't want boost, but I do. And then in that you have, well, you know, I like the boost, but it needs to be reworked. And then there are the people who's like, boost should be infinite. And it always scales down to some other type of disagreement.
The fuck?
Who should be infinite?
Boost should be
never
infinite.
heard that one. That's a unique one.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, dude. Like, I have like just the right amount of like free time and autism that like I can literally throw a rock on the internet and land on a new Sonic opinion.
Me personally, I'm of the opinion that Sonic should go back to like the adventure style, more so than specifically like it has to be adventure in all aspects. I would love an Adventure 3, but like more so what I mean by that is he needs to slow down again. We've seen him go fast. We know how fast he can go, but the boost games are not sustainable. They've proven that they're not sustainable. So go back to what you know works and is sustainable for what you need to do.
See,
their main thing is like they relied on it for 4 games straight.
Yeah.
Adventure or boost?
Boost.
Yeah.
And like
and they progressively got worse. To be honest, they peaked
they really did.
Unleashed a Generation.
Yeah.
Because like when
it was supposed to be a spectacle thing.
Yeah.
Should have been a permanent thing.
So I want to ask a question before I like make my point. Would you prefer there be like boost sections, like there are 2D sections in 3D games? Would you prefer boost sections, or just
so like how 06 had Mach speed sections?
Yeah, like that.
Yes, that would
not
provides the same thing.
But not relegating them to their own stage, just having them be like a set piece within stages.
Yes, because I'm not going to say that every other stage needs to be boost to satisfy both sets of people, because let's just stop doing that.
Right.
Let's just stop trying to satisfy.
Oh my God, more evidence of Unleash being peak. That kind of was there. Like during those there was the quick step sections, and then there were those parts where like you would have to boost while you were fighting the Eggman robots that shot the lasers at you. So that kind of was already there in Unleash was such a good fucking game.
Just people figured it out too late.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, sorry, when the Xbox patch came out.
Oh my God, yeah, I didn't have an Xbox, so I'm cool. But
I'm not buying an Xbox. I have an Xbox, but that was for the wife.
And like, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I don't think we're ever going back to adventure for a couple of reasons. The main one being is the attention span of the average gamer has gone down drastically compared to like the adventure era and what we now have as like the modern era again. People would like, if Sonic Adventure released today, it could be just as good as it was back in '99. People would not play it because there's too much shit to do that doesn't involve you running. Like there's just way too much shit like that, and that's the gaming market has kind of molded around that.
Well, what do you mean by that? Can you explain what? Because I don't think I'm understanding.
So like when Adventure released back in the day, it was, you know, a brand new shiny Sonic game, sure, but there were RPG elements, there were multiple play styles that weren't just, you know, go fast with all the other characters. On top of, you know, the stages, you didn't have boosts, so like the stages were like 100% your fault if you fucked up. So you had to, not only did you have to maintain momentum, you also had to have your pathing right. You basically had to remain in control of the character. And boost.
You think people now don't have that attention span?
No, they don't. Like the gaming market.
Games like
the gaming market.
Like Elden Ring and
I mean, I'm saying like I'm saying the general public, because even with games like Elden Ring and Soulsborne games are a niche genre. Like those are incredibly niche games. Like the gaming market at large is not gonna sit there and, you know, go to the fucking Mystic Ruins and get a key and then run back to the Windy Valley section to unlock an item that lets you progress through fucking through the actual fucking stage. They just aren't gonna do that. They're gonna drop you in the stage, you beat it, you get a cutscene, you go to the next stage. Like that's not conducive to the current gaming market, as is shown by everything since Unleashed. We haven't had a hub world since fucking Unleashed. Like you pick a stage, you go to the stage. That's it. That's what Sonic has been since Colors. And that's not, I don't think that's, I'm not blaming, you know, the general public for that, because, you know, Sega makes its decisions on its own, but
right.
It's
you're
pretty.
Just saying that most gaming has changed. So even though there are games like Elden Ring, Sonic being Sonic is not going to appeal to everybody. He's trying to appeal to the most amount of people.
Right.
So because gaming itself has changed, it wouldn't work.
Right.
With great power.
And
I can agree with that, yeah.
And like to kind of further that shit, it's evident, like the gamer, like a lot of gamers, or at least again general public here, like the general public of gamers is not built the way they were 5, 10, 20 years ago, because the concept of a game over has long since been removed from video games.
The concept of lives.
Yeah, the concept of lives continues, game overs. Now it's like, oh, well, you know, you died, you know, start over, try again. Which isn't like, I don't
think people complain about
it's,
coins in Sonic Origins.
Yeah. Like, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but, you know, when you have a franchise like Sonic where people are complaining about difficulty, and then on the same hand, you know, you have 2, 3, 5 million people buying the easy ass games, it's kind of hard to find that balance of the two, which is why I really think that Frontiers, well, it was part of the reason that Frontiers went open world, because there's a lot that you can do with that. Your experience is up to you in an open world game. Like, so if you're,
they can tailor it towards fans and casuals.
Right. Like it's open world. So like if you want an easy experience, you can have an easy experience because you don't have to do the harder shit to progress. Like there's multiple avenues to get the same outcome. One might be better, but you don't have to do it that way. So if you don't want to, you know, let's say go over here, fight this hard ass boss and get 10 keys, you can, you know, do 10 easy ass puzzles and then get those same 10 keys. You can't really do that with a game like Generations that says, hey, if you don't make it to the end, or if you lose all of your lives, you start the fuck over until you get it right. Like you cannot do that. Especially like with a platformer, because platformers require, you know, execution and fucking route memorization to do well in, I'll say. Not even counting like speed runners, but for like the casual audience, it's just, you know, that like most niggas just want to get in there, hit boost, and get to the end of the stage and be like, wow, what a great game. You know, and that's that's fine if that's what you enjoy, but I think that's what leads to the consensus of Sonic fans don't know what they want. Because to me, those two things were interchangeable. Like the fan base can't agree on one thing, and then the fan base doesn't know what it wants. Those were all just, they're interchangeable statements to me, because they're both true. Because if you get like 10 Sonic fans in a room, you're gonna have like 12 different Sonic opinions. So like it just,
right.
That's just how it goes. And I for one, I'm glad that Sega's not listening to the fucking fan base, because
in some ways they are, but
yeah, I mean, like in the ways
actually want to,
yeah, in the ways that matter, they aren't. And it's just nice to see, because we were fans of Sonic because we liked what Sega did, not because Sega did what we wanted. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah, they actually did things interesting and unique, not just
right.
Hey, we know this worked, so let's just do this again.
Let's just do this times 1,000. Like, and even when I have these other discussions with my other friends, I'm like, you can kind of see like a clear timeline of Sega's self-confidence just absolutely deflate. If you watch the intros from what was the first game that really had like a de facto intro? Like if you watch the intros from the adventure games all the way up to Unleashed, like there is so much fucking confidence in what they're putting out in those games. Even 06 being as bad as it is, like that opening cutscene it's really well directed. It's really well shot. Well, I can't say shot. It's not a fucking movie, but like it's really well directed. And like you could tell that like there was actual fucking care put into the game, and they were trying to do, something unique, something special. Granted, it didn't turn out that way, but you could see it even in the Sonic Riders intro, bro. Like the art style was unique. You had a cool song. It's a spin-off game, but like the premise was still there. Goofy as it was, there was a competent story. And then you go look at, you go look at Colors, Lost World, even Boom and Force's intros, and it's just like the most work safe shit that I've ever fucking seen. Like there's no life in it. It's like fucking mid 2000s Disney movies.
I can agree with that.
Oh shit, Khalil's here.
What did he say? He's been here the whole time. He just hasn't been talking.
No, I haven't heard that nigga say anything.
But yeah, we can hear you. What I think, adding on to that is that's why people are fed up. It's why you see all these hyperbolic people talking, because they're fed up. We've been putting up with this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, if Sega wants to do their own thing, do their own thing. That's fine. But man, make a decision. You don't have to follow everything the fans want.
Right.
But if you are, at least do it well. And their idea of doing it well was what's that game called? Was Forces.
Yeah.
Let's satisfy everybody while simultaneously not doing anything that anybody liked, except for Boost and Classic Sonic.
Right.
But then let's throw in something that people will actually like with the customizable character, which wasn't even.
I honestly don't think that was needed. Because, like, what I think Eddie mentioned it earlier, it's like the more info you heard about Sonic Forces, the more worried you got about the game.
Yeah, for sure.
And, like, right when they said, oh, yeah, hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to let you create a character that's like, why did you do this?
Yeah. And it's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick. It finally gave fans the ability to do something that they were already doing.
Yeah.
We were already doing it, or most people were already doing it. So to give people the ability to do it, yeah, I mean, it was fine. I think it could have been fleshed out more. Body types could have been adjusted more because not everybody, like even just like Vector and Knuckles, they're not or Vector and Big, they're not the same size as the rest of the characters. But everybody in the game is the exact same size.
Yeah.
Or all the customizable character presets are the same size. You can't adjust height, really. You can't. It's not enough.
Like, and yeah, like it's just nice. It's just nice to see like Sega not fucking listening to like the vocal minority of the fan base. Because I've always said, like, you know, instead of like if when Sega puts out a game and it doesn't work, instead of like tweaking it, they'll just scrap it and make something new. And that's why we kind of got like the meta era games, because it's like we got Colors and it's like, you know, the Wisp came in and it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like there were a lot of elevators in fucking Colors. Didn't like that. All right, cool. We're making an anniversary game with virtually no standing still sections. It's gonna be awesome, and we like that. And then
they turned around and they didn't make another one.
Right, and then people were like, "Yeah, we want something new." All right, cool. So we're gonna make Lost World, where you know it's basically like a parkour system. Like you control when Sonic runs, and when he doesn't, there's no boost. It's closer to a classic game in 3D, and that got a mixed reception. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, we're gonna scrap that. We're just gonna start a whole new Sonic verse, and then we got Boom, and then people hated the games, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna.
Boom was set up to be something interesting.
It
Sega
was.
fucked that up.
And like, cause the show was good.
Saw Sonic.
Like,
yeah,
the show
I saw
was
like Sonic Boom, like American Sonic. Well, the modern American Sonic.
I was actually really excited about Boom. After coming off of Lost World, I was like, oh, this is going to be so cool. And then the game came out, and I was like, oh, what did they do? What did they do?
I think with Sonic Boom games, they just didn't care.
No, they did care. Well, no.
The Big Red Button
the developers cared.
Yeah.
I don't know. Big Red Button cared. Sega didn't care. Because they're the ones who fucked them over. Because that game was not supposed to be on Wii U. And they forced them to put it on Wii U.
No, wait. They had contractual obligations to make Nintendo games.
They did. But force the game that's supposed to be on Unity onto the Wii U?
Yeah, man. Contract.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Contracts.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, no.
Yeah, man. Don't you love corporate agreements?
No.
You should. Cause
well, we have a choice.
Cause it's gonna be a lot of those in your future.
No, boy.
The ironic part about that, I'm actually working the contract.
God.
Oh man.
It's a lot of things that are the decisions. Sega's decisions are their biggest downfall right now. That's why there's so many different fans. That's why nobody can agree on one thing. It's why they've been putting out all these bad games that people are continuing to complain about. When all they had to do was take a step back, chill out for a second, and think about what game they wanted to make. They don't have to make a game every year like you were. It just needs to be interesting. It just needs to be fun.
No.
And I think that's the great part about Sonic Frontiers. They're actually doing that.
Yearly franchise. Call of Duty.
Oh man. But I thought games can't be the same. That's why people complain about Sonic.
No, man, games can be the same.
Why you play Sonic?
Games can be the same as long as it's cool to like the games. That's the rules.
Okay, clout. I understand.
That's the rules.
Yes, sir. Yes, sirski. Know the vibes.
Yeah. Sorry, Sonic Adventure can't be like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3000.
Or 2K59.
You're right. Like, sports as a genre needs to fucking die. Dear God.
Oh dear God.
Like I just.
Or at the very least make it free to play. But that's a different topic for another day.
Right. That's we can, again, another thing that I could talk about at length.
Have we got on the hypercriticism yet? About
we can.
Okay, cool.
We can make that the last thing.
That's like the other main elephant in the room. And I say that because it's like the minute people saw that in Gamescom, you saw like your usual Sonic tubers just eating that shit up and just leaking everything. That's like, damn nigga, do you want to be surprised?
No.
Oh, that's I don't know. That's what I want to do for a game. I'm generally.
That glitch is funny. Why is this entire game
which
here?
glitch?
What? The glitch
like
that
literally
let people play the game. Why is this even? Why is it even possible?
Why is this email weird?
In length here?
They're pulling a Paramount because like the game that's there isn't going to be the game that's at release.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
They're pulling a Paramount. So, oh, you thought it was 30 hours, nigga. It's really 300, pussy.
Ooh.
That's it. This is 0 out of 10. Game's too long.
Yeah, game's too long.
I thought you
too
wanted
much water.
This game to be different.
Too much water. 7 out of 10. Gotta love it.
I don't know. It's like every time I log on to Twitter, I see like 3 to like 10
New
to
spoilers.
20
New spoilers.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like it's oh, y'all getting this much out of a demo.
Well, I had to mute it, man, because like once I saw a nigga on fucking what's the desert island, Ares Island, I was like, yeah, okay, I gotta mute this shit now.
Right? Yeah, I was
Like,
like somebody's already on the second island.
someone made
What's
to
going
Ares
on?
Island.
Yeah, somebody already made it to the second island. And then I was just like, bro, why are y'all letting niggas play this long? First of all, second of all, close the fucking game and restart it when somebody pulls up to play. What are you doing?
That's
it's a team effort.
But like, holy shit, it is a team effort. People are like, oh yeah, I was playing this earlier. Let me go ahead and load it back up. Like,
Right. So let me get back in here real quick. You know.
They make sure they get back to the same computer so they can play again.
Jesus.
They said, let me continue where I left off. I didn't know this other person ain't did nothing.
Ooh, boy, I can't wait till the game get leaked because you know it is.
That's already been leaked to hell.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah. Oh no, I meant like
Either
the
way.
full game when it comes gold, when it hits gold, allegedly.
Don't forget these
Yeah.
words. With great power.
Either way, the problem is Sega's decisions is what's made this fan base so volatile.
Yeah.
Right.
It really like all goes back to their decision making. It really started with Heroes. Like
It did really start with Heroes.
'Cause,
And
like-
Heroes was still kind of it was still enjoyable to most people. But
Yeah.
it did, yeah.
it was like when I first found out like what happened during Heroes development, like that was the first time they had ever split the team to go make something else, and the level design was up to 2 niggas and one of them got sick. So it was basically like the latter half of the
didn't
game.
one of them almost die?
Yeah, that nigga almost
Okay.
died from like
Zuko almost
exhaustion.
died.
And like the other half was left up to that nigga. Like the latter half of the game was left up to that nigga. And I'm like, that's insane.
All things considered, he did a good job.
Yeah, like that nigga goated for real. Like that nigga's goated for sure, dude.
Oh man.
But yeah, like the hyper analysis, man. Like I don't get it. Like what's the goal of putting like every
We
single
gotta prove
thing?
that
'Cause, like,
Sonic is still bad, guys.
there
Because it
was-
can be cool to talk about on Twitter.
There was a picture, like somebody took a picture of a cutscene where the nigga, like, to anybody with like more than 2 firing synapses can tell that the nigga was like mid sentence and he was blinking. So his eyelids come down because that's what happens when you fucking blink. And somebody was like, oh my God, he's still emoting with his eyelids, guys. Sega's so lazy, game bad. And I'm like, you niggas are really dragging it now. Like, y'all are just like, at this point, you're taking anything to try to make this game look bad. Or not even look bad, but like to try to diminish other people's hype for the game.
Yeah, and there are actual legitimate things that you could say. But
you know what? Now I'm thinking about it.
It comes down to the. Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, I want to say Sam Procrastinate actually, his latest video is actually the cutscene of what y'all talking about. And I'm just thinking, like, what I thought y'all would be surprised.
Well.
Yeah.
Why would you like spoil yourself like that, especially when you hyped about?
That's why anybody does anything nowadays, Jarvis. It's content.
You're right. Content, clout, popularity,
content,
likes.
The likes feed me.
I mean, these people haven't had anything to talk about other than leaks, and some of these channels don't talk about leaks at all. So this is their first form of something actually to talk about. So of course they're gonna talk about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm avoiding spoilers, guys. Hey, dude, here's a video about this game that I don't know shit about.
Just holy shit. What the fuck?
I mean, damn, nigga, you know that Sega's gonna give you the game like 3 days early out of embargo.
And I'm not finna watch it mid-ass streams.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, that's not to say that Sam's not a bad person, but you know, like you said earlier, doing it for content. Because people feed onto that shit.
Yeah. He's doing it for content, which is fine. Get your money because he does do it as a job.
Right.
Do what you gotta do. You can only play so many Sonic games before you want to do something new or play a new Sonic game.
Oh my God, I can only make too many Sonic Origin bug videos.
Oh my God. Man.
Well, Sonic Origin shouldn't be bugged.
I guess we drained that well dry. It's like, oh my God, my game stuttered once, therefore the entire collection is a bad collection. Okay.
What are you talking about, guys? You already fixed it.
I'm not even gonna let you say that because one, I went through all of Sonic 2, almost every single level. Tails got lost and I had to hear that nigga jumping.
Did that ruin the other 3 games?
It didn't.
But
there
are things that are wrong, that shouldn't be wrong, and things that are.
One of us is breaking up because you keep cutting out.
No, it didn't
Is it
break the experience.
me?
Or is it me?
I think it might be
one of
Musa. Okay, you're good now. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Okay, cool.
Oh, alright.
I was about to say voice meter fucking up again.
No, like, it didn't ruin the experience, but it is very apparent. As a Sonic fan, it is very apparent. And as a consumer, obviously, or as a casual, they're not gonna notice. But there are just weird issues that if I was playing this game and I didn't know it wasn't supposed to be there, I would be like, the fuck is this?
Yeah, like I didn't encounter any glitches. I mean, I'm not discounting anybody that did, but there was also like
what were you playing it on?
PS5.
Yeah, I was playing it on PC. That's where all the glitches are.
Yeah, cause like nigga, man, Master Race. But
I mean, I built this.
I actually played it first on PC.
I built mine too, but I still don't buy shit for it because it's always a risk of de novo or like some type of game-breaking bug with every fucking game.
But mods.
Look, I get my games cheap there, so
that too.
Yeah, I think that free internet ain't nothing to laugh
crazy.
at. But
yeah, I don't have to pay to play with people.
Right.
Right.
I don't, and I choose to. But I I've never been like, you know, that hyper analytical unless I'm asked to be. So I'm just like, you know, sometimes I don't give anything a pass per se, and I'm not finna start doing that with Sonic just because I like it, nigga. I'm the biggest critic of the games that are actually bad in this franchise, but every single thing that happens does not, like, I'm not finna go through frame by frame on shaky cam footage and point out the two things that I don't like and call them bad. You know what I'm saying? And like that's what a lot of people are not. That's what some people are fucking doing.
I don't know if you remember this, but when Sonic Colors Ultimate came out, like people, like there was like leaked footage that came out, but it turned out it was played on the emulator when they didn't.
Yeah.
Like they didn't optimize the gameplay correctly.
Right.
And they just automatically shit on Sonic Colors.
And well, see that has two sides, because there are glitches like that in Sonic Colors. That glitch specifically was just them using an emulator.
Right,
but
that just goes how far
glitches in Sonic Colors.
Yeah, I'm not dismissing those. It just goes how far somebody would go just to shit on the game, just for popularity.
And like people, and it's been happening.
If you've seen Radical Soda's videos on Sonic Colors, he said when he first got it, at the beginning of the video, because it's like multiple parts. It's like, I'm going to be reviewing this game as is when it came out. No updated patches because...
Wait, you said Radical Soda?
Yeah.
Oh, those... Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I get a trip out of those.
It was like, I don't think that you should be releasing a broken product and then turn around and try to patch it out. So he reviewed it as is, and he was like, wow, so many fucking glitches. Because there are things wrong with it.
Right.
That shouldn't be wrong with it. Built from the ground up, sure, there could be issues, whatever, but that many?
Welcome to gaming post 2008. Everything has a day one patch.
Right. Or gaming after DLC.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, dude, at this point, nigga, just expect a day one patch. It don't matter how finished the game it looks or feels, expect an early patch. Because that's just part of the evolutionary step in gaming. Because back in the day, your game had to work day one. Yeah, it fucking had to. Like there was no exception.
There was no
right. Like there were no patches. The only way you were getting an updated game was a version update, and you had to rebuy the fucking game, and people were not finna do that. So like if your shit didn't work day one, oh well, you just take that on the chin. Your game sucks now.
Right.
So now in the era of like, if it doesn't break the game, ship it. We'll patch it out after a couple of days or weeks.
Oh no, you forget about the other thing that people do. Don't even finish the game. I'm looking at you, Halo Infinite.
Yeah, don't we're gonna put out what Street Fighter. We're gonna put out what we have. And then we're just gonna finish the game via a series of updates. Okay, what could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
Fucking ridiculous, man. But like,
I think another thing to add to this, and it may not be as bad, but I do, and I guess this is my personal pet peeve. Most people generally judge a game, not us. I see people judge a game mainly by their graphics, and
who the fuck does that?
Who the fuck does that in 2022? Like everything doesn't look damn near photorealistic.
Right. Like, and it's not just not with Sonic Frontiers, but it's just mainly with, like, say, I'll take Saints Row for example. It's like people are hopping on it because it's buggy, it's and I quote 360 graphics. It's like, how can y'all niggas tell?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like the 360 is 2 generations gone now. Like, how the fuck do you even remember what the fuck those graphics look like?
Right. Like,
if they do remember, why does that make it bad?
Right.
If the game is stylized, why does it have to what's the issue?
Right.
Yes.
How's it any different? Because it's like you gonna play like an indie game with worse graphics without a second notice.
Not stylized. Gameplay is what matters most. If the game is fun to play, it can look like a toaster. No,
it's gotta, bro. You didn't know it's gotta look exactly like what my real world eyes see.
If it doesn't look like Spider-Man,
right? If
I don't think the game's good.
If your game does not look like Final Fantasy 15 or Spider-Man, it's bad. Bad graphics, ugly game, bad game, stupid.
Man, I play games to get away from reality. I don't care about photorealism.
Thank you.
I like it stylized. Minus Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess is like the only game where I'm like, realism.
Some of that.
And that's realism for, 2008.
Some of that sweet, sweet realism, brother.
Yeah.
Love it here.
But a stylized game is always going to last longer anyway.
Right.
So why are we so focused on things being hyper-realistic?
Yeah.
But that's beyond the scope of why we're here. We're here to talk about.
Come on, guys. That's why Xbox doesn't have any games.
It don't.
I mean, first person, but I mean, it has got
Xbox
games, not first person, first party games.
Nintendo Switch has games.
Xbox does not have games because those same games are on the PC, cheaper and free internet. Xbox does not have, like, real shit. I have this conversation so often that I'm just like, nigga, there's no experience that warrants me buying an Xbox. Because I have a Switch, so I get the Nintendo exclusives. I have a PlayStation, so I get the PlayStation exclusives. If anything is cross-platform, 9 times out of 10, it's going to run better on the PS5. And if I want the Xbox exclusives, I have a PC, which looks better than the Xbox, on top of having it discounted, on top of not having to pay to play online. Like, there's literally no fucking reason for me, personally, to ever own an Xbox.
Yeah.
But Sonic Unleashed is finally in its purest form.
Oh man, cool.
360 emulator.
I have Game Pass and I can get a 360 emulator if I wanted to play Unleashed again.
But it's not official.
Who cares? You niggas
as
don't.
Long as it got
niggas don't. Right, niggas don't care about official, bro. Like the fan games. Oh my God, Musa, the fan games do Sonic better than the company that makes the Sonic games does. Oh my God, why would you ever play an official Sonic game when the fan games exist?
Why don't you just play
Let me go on the internet and complain about the official games that I'm not gonna play. Because I don't want anybody to enjoy them ever at all in any capacity because I don't. And my opinion is supreme.
It's hard for me. 3D wise, I've never seen a 3D Sonic fan game and gone, yeah, that definitely did better than like what Sega could do.
Like my nigga, and they're all
never
different fucking flavors of the same. Like, bro, do you know how comparatively easy it is to drop this nigga into a lifeless plateau, put some enemies and springs in there, and say you made a Sonic game?
There you go. So put Sonic in
That's
Unreal
why I saw
4 engine.
I saw what people were saying about Omens, like. Let's not get into that controversy, but like, just what people saying that it was better than what Sega was actually putting out.
That's not true.
And it's definitely not true because I played it like when the last time a demo came out.
I thought people saw the Omens up until the final portion of that came out. They did, right? Yeah,
they did. I mean, I will say the Sonic levels are fun enough. But that thing is riddled with issues.
Yeah.
Riddled with more issues than an official Sonic game.
Like, as good as it is, like, there's a lot of shit that could be fixed. Like, the Tails sections just make no sense. Like, the collision is so inconsistent. The jet sections.
The tornado section?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I rage quit.
Bro, like, those sections.
I decided to replay it because I downloaded it. I downloaded the final version, right before the controversy came to light. or more of it came to light. And I was playing it, and I rage quit at the first jet section because I was like, I suffered through this once. I'm not doing this again because this is such a long ass level.
Yeah,
and the controls are bad. Like, there's just no point. I'm not gonna waste my time on
and
this.
like
and then the controversy, and I was like, cool, glad I didn't waste my time on that.
Right, because like I played it for completion's sake because I wanted to finish it. But I'm just like, nigga, this is not in any capacity ever going to overtake an official Sonic game.
Right.
Like it's just not.
It just does things that people are looking for in Sonic games.
Right. It gives
them
unique
levels, and we want a serious story and tone.
It gives them like that really quick hit of dopamine. So they're just like, oh my God, I enjoyed this. This is how everything should be. And I'm like, bro, as somebody that genuinely loves this franchise, there has not been a fan game that does something different enough from what Sega already did to warrant the opinion that fans make better games than Sega does. There hasn't been a one. As good as they are, as good as, like, don't get me wrong now, like, before, after the sequel, Mania, if you want to count that as a fan game, because technically it is, but Mania, Fallen Star, all of those games are good, but they've been done before.
They have been done before, which is why it's easy to just replicate it.
Right, and like that's what blows my fucking mind, because I'm like, how the fuck do you like the fan games and then try to shit on the game that the fan game is based off of? Like, nigga, if you have a 2D Sonic fan game, I guarantee you it's going to be one of two games. 3 and Knuckles or Mania. Pick one. It's going to be one of those two.
Yeah, like Sonic Triple Trouble, that 16-bit remake is really just a continuation of 3 and Knuckles, which looks like Knuckles, not Sonic 3K.
No.
And basically, like, you know,
it's definitely just.
Well, it has that one mechanic where you can switch between Sonic and Tails. But outside of that, it's straight up Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah, and it's good for it. Like, it takes what works, and it's like, all right, let's just do this.
And I'm like,
it's all the better for it.
There's a reason that Omens is the only, like, fully fledged 3D fucking Sonic game, because it's not a 3D Sonic fan game. Sorry, it's obviously not as easy as you niggas think it is to make an entire fucking game. For one, two, even when the fans do it, God, it's nowhere near as fucking functional as an official game.
How can we?
Is Omens better?
Now that you mentioned that, how can we not forget the mission about when Sonic Frontiers first came out? Hey guys, I made this in Unity in like one night,
bro. I was like the neck. If I see somebody else say I fixed Sonic Frontiers, I'm gonna shoot myself. Because it's like, hey, I fixed Sonic Frontiers by putting a ramp in this empty wasteland and like dropping an SFM of Sonic in it. Yeah.
Cool.
Game, guys.
Oh my guys, Sega hired me. I want to make Sonic Adventure 3.
$60, please. Consume product. This is the real Sonic Adventure 3. Fucker. Hate it here.
It just adds on to what I was saying. There are things that we want, but nobody knows how to properly express them. And the opinions get lost because now people are fighting and saying Sonic fans complain about everything.
Mm-hmm.
When now it's just everybody's complaining about Sonic.
Yeah.
Like, you got people who don't like Sonic complaining about Sonic, that it was never good. You got Sonic fans complaining about Sonic because Sega's not doing what they think they should do. What they think works for the franchise, which might work for the franchise, mind you. We're not gonna go into that part though. It might work for the franchise, but Sega doesn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like everybody's complaining about Sonic. So at this point, Sega has no other choice but to just do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
Because they tried the whole let's listen to the fans. and they do want to listen to the fans. They do want to listen to the fans, but they're also just like, all right, it's too much. There's so many opinions that not one of them is going to be right. Not everybody's going to be happy. So if we put out something that we think will work, and if it works, it works. And I think that's what they're going for right now, which is what they need to do. And then from there, we can move on. Hopefully, they don't just drop this gameplay style like they've done in the past, but that's to be seen.
Yeah.
Sonic games not coming out every year though is going to be a benefit as long as the games are long enough to compensate for it.
And they are. Mm-hmm. I feel like Frontiers they're on the right track.
Right.
Because it is. But Forces and Lost World were not.
No, not at all. And again, that was like, fucking yearly obligations to have a game.
Yeah,
with
and
like
essentially
what people are coming off of
is why I'm not really upset whenever I hear people say that, because it is true. When you set up an expectation, you can't rip somebody from it and then be confused. Like, people expect something and you either deliver on it or say this is how things are going.
Yep.
Now,
because like
they don't, but we just have to assume this is what's going on now.
Yeah, and like,
which is what frustrates people also.
And just
we're working on quality. Game bad though.
Temper
Years.
expectations. Yeah, like that's why, like, again, I feel confident. I'm not finna like gas this shit up because I haven't played it for myself, but like I feel confident that this is gonna be a solid game. And
right.
That's not a feeling that I had for Boom or Forces at all, even just based off of what I saw. And again, it's because they've had more time to make it. They've had 5 years, so they've had 5 years.
But even after all of that,
it's a new genre of game for Sonic. On top of the fact that like these niggas said, fuck y'all. If you like it, buy it. If you don't, cool, whatever. We're gonna make the game we want to make, and if you support it, you'll support it. That's the biggest piece for me.
But don't you know, according to everybody else, sorry guys, Sonic Frontiers suck. Bloodborne clone number 325 is the best game in Gamescom, bar none.
Even though Sonic is like the most, doesn't it have the most people at the demo or whatever?
Yeah, like the line, like I saw on Twitter, like the line was so long they started a fucking planking contest.
Yeah, Sonic still has the hold it's always held, but Sega just needs to treat it like
capitalize.
It has that hold and capitalize on
it.
They've been doing better with the multimedia stuff. It's just they gotta get their game shit together.
Right. You gotta stick the fucking landing.
Yeah.
In a sense, that's why
no matter what people say, Sonic is a game franchise first and foremost. I don't care how much I like the comics. The comics are not the game. They're not what drew me into Sonic.
They supplement the game.
Like,
but no, I forgot what I was about to say. My bad. Pray for it.
It's all good. It's like 1:30 in the morning. Finna fucking wrap that shit up. Fucking final thoughts and shit.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, if you don't like Frontiers or you're not excited for Frontiers, that's cool. But stop trying to convince people to go either way. Like if you like it, that's cool.
People can be in the middle.
Yeah, like you can be hesitant, you can be optimistic, you can be pessimistic. That's cool, but make sure that you're that way because you want to be that way, and that shit's self-contained. Because I hate when people like say, this is my opinion and this is how you should feel too. A lot of most Sonic tubers do that shit. It's like, oh man, look at what they're doing to us, guys. Like, nigga, that's not, nigga, you don't know me. You don't speak for me. Even with this 1.5 hour long video, nigga, I'm not speaking for anyone. I'm giving my thoughts and opinions.
Right, and we literally don't even agree on everything.
Right.
I still have different opinions at the end of the day.
Like,
you're looking for one thing, or you don't care, and I'm looking for one thing, or I don't care. That's fine.
It's all good.
We can have different opinions and coexist.
There's more fucking gameplay leaks.
No!
I'm about to put that shit in the Twitter. Because this shit actually looks pretty fucking good.
Send it!
Yeah, that shit going in the fucking
Send
Twitter.
it to me.
This nigga, it's going.
Cyberspace is cool and all.
Yeah.
It's cool and all. It's just 10 plus years of them reusing stuff takes a toll on people.
Yeah.
So it's not unrealistic that people are like, again?
Yeah. I get it.
After this, I think they do have to go back to creating unique stuff.
Yeah.
No, like.
And like, I think that's why.
Or just stop bringing back the same 12 locations.
Yeah. And I think that's why they focus more on the open world. Because I've been of the opinion since I found out that the cyberspace levels were short, that the focus wasn't, the traditional Sonic gameplay. It was the open world gameplay. Mm-hmm. And like the cyberspace levels are there not necessarily as filler, but like kind of like, just basically little lore pieces, so you can figure out the story and shit.
They threw it in there for something, for a small side piece.
Yeah,
it's not the main thing.
And I'm fine with that, because I'm honestly, am I gonna play the cyberspace levels and enjoy them? Absolutely. But I'm honestly more excited to see what's going on in the open world than I am anything else. Because like they got my nigga throwing hands, and I'm always down for these niggas to scrap. Always.
It is unfortunate that they're not confident enough to just not do the cyberspace.
Yeah, to just have it all be open world.
But it's fine. It just shows that they still care.
Yeah.
They just have a weird way of showing it.
Right. And and
this is the best that they could do.
Frontiers 2 better have multiple playable characters. I like Sonic, but I'm tired of this nigga being the only playable character.
You about to have a shadow. You about to have a shadow mod.
Hell, I'ma download it. Shit, I'm already double dipping on the game. Like, and at least like, I feel like the main, or like the original trio at this point should be in every game, because they offer unique enough experiences between the three of them. Like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles.
Knuckles, if they're gonna care about the lore again, like it looks like, they're just not including Knuckles unless they get rid of Angel Island or something.
Right. But like, I just like Sonic Frontiers. I'm from what I've seen, I'm confident it's gonna be solid. Like, if we do get like another Frontiers-esque game, I need multiple playable characters. Like, this nigga's been the only playable character since like Unleashed. I need niggas back.
Have you seen like people say, I don't know if any of you have ever seen this. It's like they're never gonna make an SA3 until Sonic is like so down bad that they're like
their last resort.
Yeah, it's a code red, like
dire straits at Sega.
Yeah,
we have enough budget for one more game. Let's go ahead and make SA3.
We're actually done. Like that's the only reason that they'll ever make SA3.
We're fucking. And
you know what? It would absolutely.
You know what, Musa? I want them to fuck around and do that, but then it just turns out to be Sonic 06 remastered.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, if they remastered 06, fix the story, the game's fine.
Yeah.
Like, Chaos X has proved that the game's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason why I said they can do it and get away with it. And niggas will eat that up. All three of us included.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. But that's all I had, man. I appreciate niggas